okay, let's change gear. Sure, you have a lady. How did you end up picking her over anybody else? What made her stand out to you?
That's a great question. I think what it was what I don't know. I was really religious. I felt like this person was somebody that God sent to me. So that's just how I kind of was believing into that. I had a spiritual connection with this person, and I felt like she was my angel. And then like I always had good times and good moments with that person, and that's when I just kind of held on to that. And we have two beautiful daughters out of it, and that's something we went through. Yeah. Now, relationships ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's different types of love. Like you just, as you grow with someone or anything like that, you kind of like, especially parenting, it's different types of love where it's like, it's not always intimate or what you do for me and all that. It's all about protection and being supportive and keeping that foundation strong for each other. And that's what I just pray for everybody, experience and gets. Because that's something that I didn't really see growing up. My pops, like I love my pops and I love all my brothers and sisters, but we had different families and all that kind of stuff. So it was just like, yeah, I had a lot growing up, but I didn't have a family, like how I want it today. And that's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's the decision I made that what made me today compared to.
That's good. Yeah. So, Tash, you're single right now, but what are you looking for in a man?
Oh, Lord. See, everybody who is plotting on me right now, which according to my psychic readings, is a lot of people about to tune in, but hell, I'm going to lay it out. Okay. I would like to date a man and marry a man who loves God just as much as I do, who puts God first in all things. I would like to date a man who is enterprising, educated, and ambitious, and that came straight from Whitley from a different world. that's what Dwayne asked, and that's what she told him. I think that's super concise,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And besides that, I just want to have fun, and I want someone who allows me to be free. You know what I'm saying? Like in my self-discovery, like looking at all my my zodiac placements and my zodiac chart, like that Cancer in me is a homemaker. I love to be at home and stuff, but the moon sign, which rules the mind, I'm a Gemini moon. So it's just like, I love traveling. And so I feel like my home is on the road. So I would need to be with someone who wouldn't restrict me, or who would come with me on my journeys, and somebody who would be okay with my spontaneity. Of course, there's going to be, compromise. You can just get up and leave your partner or expect them to, hop in the car with you all the time. But just as long as a person could allow me freedom to be me and not expect me to change my lifestyle too much, unless you're trying to give me some kids, in which case I do got to sit my ass down, like, I can be doing all this, that, and the third with kids, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, 1 second. So if you meet a guy, not a baller rapper, a regular guy who works 9 to 5, and he's like, okay, Tash, let's buy a house or rent a place. So you're gonna get a regular job. I'm gonna get a regular job, and we're gonna live in this city for the next 20 years with our kids there. Can you do that?
Like, so that kind of just like makes me scared right now. But at the end of the day, like, I have done so much travel. It's not like I haven't lived life. It's not like that wasn't my original dream. So if it was the right guy and, God told me like, this is what you're supposed to do. Yeah. But as far as like staying in the same city, it's like, we can have like at least like 3 trips a year, right? It's just, we can leave some to do vacation. Cause I like doing vacation. I like going places, like, you feel me? So it's just like I said, if there's compromise, it could happen. I don't mind a 9 to 5 guy. I mean, shoot, like my business is like actually starting to thrive after putting in 5.5 years of work. And so I could actually, make my living, doing at home work, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, listen. So I'm with Melissa. She's white, and Suge's lady. Is she white or Latina?
She's Mexican,
She's
Latina.
Mexican. Okay, the Latina woman. Tash, do you think there's a issue with colorism when it comes to dating?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, largely, it's not like everybody who's in an interracial relationship, has that issue, but like in my experiences, like I've dated nothing but, dark skinned men. And I can tell you 100% that the fetishization, of light skinned women or non-Black women is, just rooted in the belief that, Black women are angry, and that, like we're just violent and that we're just like harder to deal with than other women. Now, I'm not talking about light skinned women. I'm talking about dark skinned women. And when it comes to light skinned women and, the preferences for, non-Black women, which not every man who is in an interracial relationship has. It could be a situation like Suge's, to where he felt like this woman was heaven sent. Like there's always good times, But in situations where these guys who fetishize light skinned women, it's 100%. These guys feel like we're easier to control. They feel like we're easier to deal with. And it's just rooted in basically a very complex, how can I say it, stereotype, that is perpetuated when it comes to Black women, So it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel very, very traumatized by that. Like, and I just say that because at the end of each relationship, these guys kind of set out to destroy me. And I know for a fact it's because they expected me to be manipulable and expected me to be a pushover, not realizing that I'm just a very, very light-skinned Black woman. The Black woman definitely, lies inside of me. For example, the ex for 10 years, like the ex before me that he got pregnant 3 months after I left him, dark-skinned girl, long black hair. You know what I'm saying? So even that goes back to what you're saying, because colorism is kind of like rooted in materialism, or men who are just more so interested in a woman's look. For example, like this girl, long hair, men, they like long hair, whether you're dark skinned, light skinned, or whatever. I mean, most men either way. So yeah, it's not every case though. Like I said, I would say it's more so like a 60-50, being like 60% of, guys who prefer light skinned or non-Black women do, I feel like, share those colorist perspectives. But I do feel like, it's about 40%.
Okay. Any thought on that, Suge?
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. What stood out to me was the trauma part. So that plays a huge role in your decision making in your partner. Me, I've dated pretty much all races, damn near. So I took did everything I need to do. I think for me, I had to, like, why I appreciate my partner so much is that because I had to learn how to be a good man or a good partner to her. I had my own traumas too growing up. I think a lot of people in our generation just have their own traumas because some people grew up in 2-parent households, some people didn't. Some people had one second. Some people have like different ways how they grew up. So, but like I understand where you're coming from, and just to tag along to that is that I used to date all kind of hold up.
And kids love their daddy.
Oh yeah, I understand. We're parents too.
Okay, listen. But for me though, like, right?
Man, yeah. It's all good. Yeah. But like, nah, man. Like people's traumas play according to how they make it their whole decision in life and how they raise their kids, how kind of person they are. So I had to become. I wasn't. I didn't trust anybody growing up. So like I was very calm and very cool, but I didn't trust anybody. It shocked me how nice my wife is. It shocked me. I was like, damn, like why are you so nice to me? What's your motive? What you want? And then it got me to the point where I'm like, oh, I gotta be a nice person too. It made me reflect on myself. So with that whole dating experience, when I felt like it was real when I found my wife, is that like I looked up in the sky, I'm like, oh snap, like I've been through a lot of things, and that's not because I've been through a lot of trauma that me and her were together. It was more that every time I was with her, I felt good. I felt trustworthy, and I wanted to share that all the time with someone. So say what's up, Luna.
Hey, girl. Look at that hair. She got that pink hair.
Yeah, we with the K-pop Demon Hunters. So that's the costume thing going on. Yeah. So, yeah, hold on.
No, so but for me, Tash, listen. My daughter is fully black. I'm Haitian. Her mom is from Haiti as well, and she's a good woman. No disrespect there. She's a good woman. She was good to me, but I was immature when I was with her. So I had my faults. It was mostly me that caused that to end. You know what I mean? So
we love someone who takes accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and after that, I've dated another black women. I've dated non-white, Hispanic. I've dated Asian. I've dated white. So I've dated everybody. So and then last time I got single, I stopped dating for a couple of years. Then to reflect on myself, to be a better man, so I can meet the better women. So where I live, it's mostly a lot of white people here. So being single in a town full of white people, at other times you're gonna end up meeting somebody close to you. And I went online. I met her online. I went online, and people that was close to me in my circle, that's what I had, and I didn't want to do long distance dating. And then I meet her. She's nice. I fall in love. She's everything I want. So I'm like, okay, let's. But it wasn't because she's white. And two, okay, the thing about stuff.
I'm just listening. I don't know.
No. And the thing about that, okay.
Choose your words wisely.
She was giving him that stare
Think.
No, okay. That the whole control thing. I cannot control you just like I couldn't control my ex. You know what I mean? And I do not want to. And you have to push over.
No.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but
no. But I mean, I think some of that's age too. I mean, you know, Rodney and I met when we were much older, so you know, I think we've. I am older.
You better. Hey, I'm about to be on the same type of time too. Okay. The YNs love us. They do.
So yeah, I mean, I think some of that is just, you know, I mean, I grew up in interracial family, so you know, I've seen and heard my stepmother is black, and she's been around since I was 4. So she is my mama, and she is a wonderful woman. But she has said the same things that you have said, Tosh. I mean, over and over again. And she was with my father for 44 years before he passed. So you know, they had a really great life together. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think.
Okay, as a white woman, do you think when you go places with me, you get looks? People look at you funny?
I told you, I've noticed people look at us more than you notice that people look at us. But there are people that look at us. Yeah. I
don't pay attention. So.
Yeah. I mean, not as much as people looked at me and my stepmom when we were together when I was young, because I mean that was the 80s. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, people looked at us wild a lot, but because we were together constantly. But yeah.
Okay.
And see, here's an interracial relationship that, like I could, co-sign, because it's just very important for me, for Black people, if they're going to date interracially, to, date people, especially if they're not people of color, who are culturally conscious and who educate themselves about, racism and the different things that people of color, whether they're Black or Latino, face. So just like you, being raised in an interracial, family, Melissa, I already know that, you just have that, deeper understanding that a Black man would need, if he ended up facing some sort of racist situation. That's our whole thing. Black women, we just want our Black men to be taken care of. Just if he comes home and says that he was discriminated against, don't question him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you feel me? Like, understand him, be there for him. That's all we ask, And I've had interracial relationships in my family, like, and I would say they're like 50-50. I had an uncle, he's a Scorpio, and he was married to shout out my Uncle Clarence, he's a Scorpio. He was married to a white woman. She was also a Cancer. Unfortunately, they ended up divorcing. She ended up with a white man who is basically strongly Confederate. So that's the type of stuff that us Black women don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you probably should have gauged that better. But actually, this woman was German. So you kind of just might have gauged that situation. But others, like, for example, my Uncle Roger, who passed away, and my Aunt Rose, who passed away, they were pretty much married until they died. My uncle had a light-skinned wife. They divorced. But my Aunt Rose, probably one of the best white women that I've ever known, besides Princess Diana, and I didn't know her. So
yeah. We have conversations about that. I mean, because I'm like, we have to be careful. We have to be very careful. So yeah.